name's Miranda, and today I'm here to react to episode 4 of Queen Charlotte. The last episode, specifically the ending, was a doozy and a half. I really loved how Charlotte was there for George in that moment, how she didn't run away and she ran towards him, and I think that was really sweet and cute. And yeah, now it's kind of out in the open, kind of, in a way. I feel like she still has to find out exactly what's been happening, and Brimsley does too, because Brimsley's kind of been like piecing stuff together, I think. But yeah, I feel like now is going to be the time when all is revealed, and I'm interested to see how this has developed and just to see more of what's going on. So yeah, let's check it out. I love that just everyone rags on Butte. It's truly inspiring to see. He's so sarcastic. Wait, him and Charlotte are even more of a perfect match than I realized it. That's hysterical. Like, I could totally see her doing this. Be like, yeah, see, I'm saying both the things to waste no one's time. Uh-oh. Maybe she shouldn't have told him this in front of everyone, knowing that it was probably going to stress him out. So I'm sure Reynolds has known about this for quite some time, as has his mom, obviously. I feel like it very clearly, like, they stressed him out with telling him about, like, the fact that he's getting married in 12 hours or whatever, and this is what caused it. Oh, I was kind of, like, on the fence about her. I still don't think she's great, but, like, she very clearly does love him. It's just, like, that duty versus the sense of, like, love, you know? But, like, this shows me that she does really care for him. It's just, you know, there's so many ways that you're not allowed to in this environment. It's funny seeing it from his point of view, just like, wait, is she climbing the wall? You're like, yeah, she is actually. She really is. And that's when he fell in love with her from the first look. That's so cute. It's cute to see that, like, he was, as I know he told her he was nervous, but just like seeing he didn't really want to get married either, you know? Like, it kind of makes them more on equal footing, I feel like. And it probably made him more reassured that it wasn't someone that was like, I can't wait to marry the king. This is gonna be awesome and amazing. More someone that was like, yeah, no, I want no part of this. He was probably like, oh wait, I kind of like that someone's not just like gonna dote on my every word. He so loves her, like from the moment he met her and talked to her. It's just so cute. And I love that he loves her for her beauty and her brains. It's so cute. Reynolds is like, I don't get that reference, but okay, thank you. I get that reference, and it's very interesting that that's been on his mind. So this is interesting because I always kind of thought, just from the way I read it, like, that he was keeping himself away to like protect his secret and stuff, but he's doing it to protect her, you know? That's kind of, there's something like even more like, oh wow, he really does love and care for her, when it's like he's keeping himself away not to protect himself but to protect her. Like, he thinks he could be a detriment to her, and I just think there's really something noble about that, right? Like, obviously she should get a say in it, but it's just, it changes my frame of it completely. This changes this scene entirely too. Like, we just saw him freaking out 5 minutes ago, being like, she's here, she can't know, like, about that I've been living and eating here, and now she walks in and he's just like looking out the telescope like, oh, what are you doing here, girl? What's up? Like, wasn't expecting you. Like, so casual, and it's so fake. It's so cute. He's so nervous and flustered around her because he likes her so much. But the thing is, like, we know she sees him like that and she absolutely doesn't flee. She actually runs towards him to help him because that's the kind of person she is, and also she loves him. Also, I feel like this is a very bad idea. Like, I kind of thought this doctor was good because he was the only one being like, we should just talk about your problems, because it's very clearly stress-induced for a lot of it, and that makes sense, like, that if he doesn't know how to handle stuff, like, it's gonna come out. But now this guy's like, oh, you want me to do some experiments? Like, it's getting to that part where you're like, this is very unethical. It really is, up until like what, like the 2000s, that psychology experiments stopped being so unethical. Oh my gosh, why? This guy went from like being like, we're gonna talk and like treat them like people real fast, to being like, do anything you have to. Like, it scares me. It's concerning. It's concerning, like, that he thinks this is what the problem is, that, like, he just is, like, above it all, and also, like, the fact that he's like, you need to learn to submit to me, because it's like, okay, what exactly do you, I feel like the worst thing you could give a doctor back in this day and age, probably even now, but this day and age is free reign to be like, yeah, whatever you want, like, he's gonna go crazy, and I just feel like, I thought he was a good, like, doctor, like, on the kind of forward cusp with the thinking and talking and being like, there's nothing wrong with you, like, it's just like something you have to deal with, like, you're fine. And now it's like he had this in his back pocket the whole time. That's terrifying. See, I feel like he's just on some kind of power trip, right? Which is probably like what happened with any of the patients that he treated like this. Like, it's like, you're not, you're just trying to break them. You're not treating them like a human being with, like, I don't know, with like thoughts and feelings and like three-dimensional. Like, you're just treating them like, it's almost like the mental illness is one part of them that you're just trying to like scare out, and it's like that's not how it works. Like, they're a fully fledged, it's all connected. Yeah, that is true. Like, they're gonna run out of ice for the whole the whole place, and it's gonna be like, what? I love that Reynolds is like, this doesn't seem to make sense. Like, making you eat food that isn't as splendor doesn't really make it seem like it would do much. That breaks my heart. That, like, he thinks he has to do this for her, and like the fact that he's doing it for her, like, oh my gosh, it's just, I don't know. I didn't expect that. You left her there alone. What else was she supposed to do? You didn't tell her anything. Aw. Yes, Reynolds. Yes. I love that him and Brimsley are like the wingmen of this couple, and it's so cute. Because I think, like, they obviously see that, like, they are good together and they do make each other happy and they could be happy together. I mean, Reynolds knows George probably better than anyone except his mom at this point, and Brimsley, I feel like, is the closest to Charlotte out of everyone here, you know, and I feel like they know that, like, they're very similar. I'm seeing how similar they are too, with like how sarcastic he was and how, like, they definitely have a lot of similarities. It's really cute to see. See, there's another similarity, because she did this exact thing last episode where she had her face like pressed against the glass to see what was going on with him. Oh, she's playing chess by herself? That's so sad and lonely. Oh, she's playing both parts of it. Actually, never mind. I love her for that. He loves her. It's so cute. And I hope, like, he's starting to see that, like, she wouldn't judge him for this, you know? Like, she'd want to understand and help him. And, like, she could probably actually, like, let him talk about it, which is, like, what no one seems to want to let him do. They just want to fix it. I thought that dog looked familiar when I first saw it, but I was like, no way, he stole it from them. That is hysterical, and honestly, big approved on my part. I love this boy more and more. Look at him sneaking in, like, you're the king of England, and he's sneaking in the door like, uh-oh, hope I don't get caught. I feel like, you know, he's truly mentally ill, because, like, the true mental ill people that are, like, dealing with it the most, like, make jokes like that all the time, right? Like, he's like, I'm still the king, mad as I am. I'm like, you know what, you're part of the club, boy. It's like when me and my friends are at work and we're like, how are you feeling? Not well, but here, and that's all you can get from me. The Lexapro should kick in 5 hours. This is so sweet. Like, I feel like this just shows you how one story can look completely different from two ways. Like, when I first saw that dog, I was like, oh, he probably didn't even pick out that dog. Someone else just probably got it. And for him now to full on it be a metaphor about, like, I'm uncaging something because soon I'll be uncaged and, like, we can be together. And, like, this is, like, the placeholder until he can get there. Like, oh my gosh, he's the most romantic, thoughtful dude ever. This is why they're great. He loves it. He's not even offended. He's like, you know what? That's pretty hysterical. I love, like, how good it is. Like, it's not even the fact of, like, love saves all or love cures mental illness, right? It's just the fact of, like, it's someone who's not treating him like he's breakable, you know? And I feel like even Reynolds is a good show of that, because how he's kind of being like, I don't know if this is, like, exactly, like, trying to say it in the way he can, but, like, I don't know if this is exactly working, you know? Like, I feel like it's just those people who don't see him as, like, just one thing, just like a mentally ill person. The people that see him as like a fully fledged human being. And that's what's great. And I've seen people talking on Twitter about this. Like, it's great seeing like someone like that who's like allowed to have interests and wants. And it's like their mental illness isn't like the thing that defines their character, you know? Like, we see him be funny, and I'm really worried about this doctor too, because I feel like he's gonna want like it just seems like he wants control over the king, right? So it's like if the king's like, no, I'm good, I think like he's gonna be like, no, that means like you're tricking yourself into thinking you're good, you know? And he also doesn't know yet the fun fact we all have to learn when you get diagnosed with something, right? Where you think you're over it, and then it always comes back. You just have to learn how to deal with it. Oh my gosh, it's because he's like so nervous and stressed about meeting her. He does a really good job portraying it where you can just like see it come on. Yes, Reynolds. Like, honestly, sometimes like that's just what works, like a grounding technique of like you're here, smell the wine, feel the tablecloth, like you're here, you're not there. And I just love that Reynolds like I love one that Reynolds is there for him, but also it's just nice to see someone in this day and age who's not like we need to like throw leeches at him or like put him in an ice bath. Like Reynolds is like you're fine. Like we don't need to be doing all this stuff and like doesn't think it's good for him or even like good for the country if it, you know what I mean? It's just nice to see Reynolds like accept him and love him for who he is. It's so interesting seeing this from his point of view too now because it's like when I watched it from her point of view, I totally was like it almost seems like someone's like writing this script for him, like Reynolds told him what to say to get her to forgive him. But like seeing everything he's gone through now and like how who he is when he's not around her, like I see now that it was like the other stuff was an act and this is who he really is, being like I get it, I'm sorry. Like that's who he truly is. The other stuff where he's pulling away and being like, no, like that's the act and that's just total reversal of what I thought initially and that's so cool. See, I feel like this is like terrible because it's like why can't you just be like, "Oh, maybe the treatment works." Like why are you automatically thinking like, "Oh, we need to do more else it's going to come back." Like he just doesn't seem to actually want to cure him. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of pressure. Like that's awful. Anything you do wrong is like you're ruining the country. Yeah, I could see why. I mean, literally, I think that on a daily basis, and I'm not the king of anything. Oh, wow. How long has he lived like that, you know? That too, yes. And we love her for it. See, I'm telling you, that's why he fell in love with her. Like, the best thing she could have done was try to run away and him find her because then he's like, he doesn't want someone who's just like, oh, for the country. Like, she sees him as a person, and that's why she's not afraid to call him out when he's being rude or to not just be a simpering thing. And that's why he doesn't, like, he knows he's really messed up when she's like, right, Your Majesty. Like, he just wants to be George around her, and she's completely able to treat him as just George, and it's the best thing ever for him and for her, and I love it for them. Since when? What? Yeah, is he threatening her? I don't remember her coming to him. And I thought no one's supposed to know he's the king's doctor, so how would she even know? He's lying, right? We never saw her come to him for anything. I knew he was going to try and spin this so he gets back in control. He's literally doing this to set him off again. Like, this is awful. I'm so mad. That guy literally did that on purpose. Like, he clearly is triggered by, like, stressful events, as is anyone. And, like, he finally thought he found a happy rhythm with everything, and now, oh, you're gonna be a dad, and there's gonna be a kid around, and, like, there's gonna be someone else now to, like, have to uphold everything he's been through. Like, obviously that's gonna make him kind of snap. I feel like he did that on purpose to try and get back in control or whatever. And I'm pissed about it because he was doing good, because he was doing what you're supposed to be, where it's talking about it and stuff. Ugh. I don't like his voice too. That should have been my first sign. That was my first sign when the doctor was like, we just have to talk to him. I was like, I like what you're saying, but the voice you're saying it in is just, it just makes me think of like a scary psychiatrist. Like, and then it totally, that's what he was. Oh, of course she would notice that. I didn't even notice that stuff, but of course she would pick up on that right away. Oh my gosh, she has come to flip a table, honestly. Oh my gosh, they have to do a lot. Okay, I see like thinking of the knives and all that, but who was the person that was like, yeah, we gotta get King Lear out of the library? Also, the fact that she noticed all that stuff, I think, just shows how great she is. Yeah, that's really hard. And it's like you're trying to protect your son, not only like to protect your son, but also like you have like all these people willing to like throw him basically off the throne as soon as they see any kind of slip. No, oh no, he's hearing this. I'm so mad because it was fine and it wasn't, it's not like it was all going to go away or whatever, but it's just the fact that that guy set him off on purpose. I feel like what she's saying is like true though, because it's like he's taking it probably as she's saying, like, I don't want to be with him, like he's mad. But she's saying, like, you guys tricked me. Like, you didn't tell me, and like, how is that fair that like I never got to know the real him because like everyone's been keeping this from me? Like, I get where she's coming from, but I also see where like he's gonna take it as like, oh, she doesn't want to be with me because like I'm crazy. She's mad about lying, not about the lie in particular, I think. Pissed. Look at his creepy smile too. He did this all on purpose, and it's like I'm 99% sure he was lying too. Like I said, because I don't remember the queen ever going to him, let alone knowing that that was his doctor. Ugh. I feel like this was my favorite episode so far, though, if I'm being honest, because I just love those episodes that show like a whole story you've seen, but now from a different point of view that adds so much to it. And I realize that now. I think the biggest thing is just how he was keeping himself away, not to protect himself and protect the secret, but to protect her because he was worried that he was going to hurt her or something like that, because that's kind of what everyone's been telling him he's going to do. I mean, we don't know like what the whole backstory of what like his upbringing was like, but it seems like, you know, if they're like taking the knives away from him, putting locks on stuff, locking the windows so you can't open them, like you're going to start to feel like, oh yeah, maybe I will hurt myself or hurt someone, like if this is how people, you know, it's like that thing of like if you're treated with respect and dignity, that's what you're going to project. If people treat you like you're a ticking time bomb and like you need to literally be like kept away from everything like you're a child, then you're going to start to feel like, oh my gosh, maybe I will do that. So like I just feel like it's such a complex look at who he is and at a character with a mental illness like this, because he's allowed to feel so much. And I feel like oftentimes like you don't see that. Like it's like all their emotions are attributed to their mental illness, whereas with him it's like you can see like he really loves her, and like how he truly thought that was hysterical that she thought that dog was a deformed bunny. And it's just all this additional stuff that like I really hope that they can work it out and talk now, because it just breaks my heart that he thinks he has to put himself through all this to make himself better when like she already loves him for who he is. If she had been like turned off by it, she wouldn't have helped him, you know? She would have run away or let Reynolds deal with it. Like he was worried she was going to, he was worried she was going to flee or something, and instead like not only did she help him get back inside, but she cleaned him up afterwards and like refused when other people tried to help her. She was like, I can do this, because I mean she loves and cares for him. So I'm excited to see where it goes in the future, like I said, because this just added so much perspective to it for me, from especially like who his character is. Like I already loved him and really thought he was awesome, and now like this just shows I think how much more caring he is too, and how much he's had to deal with. So yeah, if you have seen the episode, please feel free to leave your thoughts down in the comments. Also make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!